Hey guys, it's Siobhan with Decade and Beyond. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing Gemini horoscopes for the month of July 2019. But before we jump into the reading, I just want to thank all my new subscribers and my existing subscribers. The count has really risen, and I'm just really thankful to all of you guys. And I'm also really thankful to those of you who have sent donations. So you know who you are, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I just want you to know that all of the donations that I receive for the channel go back into the channel. So I'm purchasing, tarot decks, oracle decks, for the readings to give back to you guys. Also, if you guys would like to book a personal reading with me, all of the information is in the description box below. The pricing, the types of readings, and or if you'd like to book a Reiki healing session, that's down there as well. I'm a certified holographic Usui Reiki master. I specialize in chakra balancing, chakra activations, all sorts of tapping into archetypes and aspects of your soul. So yeah, let's get into the information that I channeled before we pull any cards. So Gemini this month, first thing right off the bat, it was like triggers. Bam, in my face. All right, so there might be a lot of stuff that's triggering you right now, and we are in July. It's a very energy active portal. So we've got, it started out yesterday. At the time I'm recording this, yesterday was the solar eclipse in Cancer. So this is very intense energy in relation to your sense of security, your home life, how you relate emotionally to sensitivities that you have within, and how you relay that to those around you. So this energy is with us for the rest of the month as well. We've got a full moon in Capricorn in the middle of the month, and then at the very end of the month we have another new moon in Cancer. So that's two new moons in the same sign in the same month, and I believe one of them is another lunar eclipse. So there's just lots of shit going on basically, and these triggers are coming up. So triggers are things that happen around you that make you feel some type of way, and it doesn't matter what the trigger was. Whatever it is, it's hitting an unhealed wound within you and making you react. So if you're reacting from a place of anger, fear, sadness, there's so many different reactions that can come from a trigger. It really depends on what the core wound is. But next up, I was seeing this like Jester type figure kind of like dancing around and being a dick. Like I don't know how else it was, like this trickster archetype, because the Jester to me really represents the trickster, and the trickster is somebody who doesn't take life seriously, he likes to mock things and be silly. He likes to get a laugh out of people if he can, but it's sometimes at other people's expense or at his own expense. So there's this sort of theme of being made to feel stupid, either by yourself or by somebody else, and taking life too seriously may be an underlying theme. Then I felt and I saw somebody go, oh, like whatever, throwing their hands in the air and feeling just exasperated, like I'm done with this, I've had enough. It was this feeling of just being like completely done with whatever the situation is. I don't know what it is for you. We're going to see what the cards say, but it was just this feeling of having enough. Like I felt like, okay, I've had enough in that moment. And there was this underlying feeling of needing to see the lighter side of a situation, because I feel like there was this jadedness, this anger and hurt that was coming through with this jadedness, and not being able to find the innocence in life, or the childlike silliness of life, and just being triggered by anything that really related to that silliness. So we're going to see what the cards say, but that's what came through in the reading. And I'm using a new deck, not a new deck, but I'm using a different deck today for the monthlies, as I was guided to do so. So this is the Psychic Tarot by John Holland. So Gemini, July 2019. Now keep in mind that these are General readings, so not everything's going to apply with everybody. Just take what resonates with you and leave the rest. If it doesn't resonate, then it just wasn't for you. If it triggers you, then there's something there that you need to look at. Okay, take everything with a grain of salt. Always compare everything to your inner truth and your intuition. Boom, boom, boom. Gemini, current self energy. Emotional loss. Okay. What is the theme of the month? Theme of the month, we have 2 wands, the base chakra, and prosperity begins. And it's red as well, so lots to do with the root chakra. We're going to get into that. So the key goal. Too many. Oh, I guess it's only 3. Intuition, fulfillment of wishes, and destiny. I think they came out like that. Is that right? Yes, that's right. Okay, thank you. Obstacle to overcome. Ooh, that was fast. Balance in reverse. Yeah. Major accomplishment. What's this one? Power. That's the strength card. Okay. He looks like Odin. I've never noticed that before. He looks like Odin from the Thor movies. Or, yeah, Thor's dad. I don't know why that chose to come through. What to avoid? This one here. Love begins. It's an interesting avoid position. What to embrace? Oh. Light in reverse. Where to find support? Oh, that was fast. The waiting game and recognition and reward. Actually, let me move these up so you guys can see a bit better. There we go. Okay. And last but not least, advice and encouragement from Spirit for Gemini's July 2019. Solitude. So that is the Hermit card. Okay. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. I myself am a Gemini rising, so, you know, these can apply to Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, all sorts of other aspects, or if you were just drawn here. But this emotional loss, this current self being emotional loss, I think that's what makes people jaded, or it can make people jaded if they get stuck in that loss mentality. So here's the thing. One person can go through the situation and come out feeling reinvigorated, re-inspired. You know, it was challenging, but it was a test, and they come out of it feeling like it was an opportunity rather than an obstacle. And another person can go through the same thing and feel completely shut down, cut off, lose faith, lose hope, be angry, blame others, or blame themselves, and then get stuck in that energy. And one is not better or worse than the other. That's a perception that we give to it. So that's a tough one to wrap your head around, because you're probably going right now, well, yes, one is clearly worse than the other. But no. At an energetic level, everything's just energy. There is no good or bad. There is no positive or negative. In the vibrational sense, there is, but that's more just like a frequency. It's not the connotations that we give to good and bad experiences are simply based on our perspective. It's an opinion. One person can think something's good, one person can think it's bad. It's a perspective. It's a personal opinion. So you get to choose what your perspective is of every given situation. You get to choose your reaction. And a lot of the time, the underlying emotional wounding is well, almost all of the time, the underlying emotional wounding is what's causing the trigger. That's the symptom, and the underlying root cause is the wound. So this current self energy, it's a tough one to be in, and it's something from the past, because this is something that's been integrated over lifetimes. They're drawing my attention to this fossil here, and this fossil represents the Fibonacci sequence, which is it's all about prime numbers and expansion. It's the divine numbers that make up the universe, and the way that this particular sea creature grows is it's always exponentially larger. There's this really cool show on Netflix called The Code, and I just started watching it, and I think the second episode has this mathematical equation in it, and it relates to this animal, and it's all about the way that it grows, and it has remained that way for centuries. So it's quite literally a living fossil. It hasn't changed in thousands and thousands of years, if not millions of years. So this is, I think, representing the fact that if it's not working for you, maybe it's time to change, because maybe remaining the same is clearly not doing you any service. And 5 is all about change. So it's change. It's time to change. It's time to change your mind. It's time to change your attitude. It's time to change the way that you perceive your reality. And it's time to change and heal whatever this emotional loss was that's causing you to react to all these triggers. So the next up, we've got theme of the month, which is the base chakra, and prosperity begins, which is Ace of Pentacles. So both of these have to do with physical security and new beginnings as it relates to physical security. So when you have emotional loss, there's often physical loss that comes with that. And physical loss blocks your root chakra. It blocks your ability to trust. It blocks your ability to feel safe and secure, to feel like you have a home, or that you fit in, or that you are loved, or that you have everything that you need to be able to pay your bills, to be able to eat food. It's to feel safe, to feel protected, to feel grounded. You know, these are inherent survival needs that we all have. And if one of them has become unstable, or there is a belief that is formed around it that is in lack, therefore that you do not have, that's going to be continue to reinforce itself. So just like the spiral, whatever the core belief is going to continue to replicate and get bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's advantageous for you to look to the core wound. Where is that core wound, and why are you holding on to it? Because that core wound is only going to grow exponentially. And it's a cycle. The Fibonacci sequence represents this cyclical nature of the universe. This is a karmic cycle. And the karma, it can only be stopped or alleviated when the momentum of it is not carried forward into the next moment. And that means that you need to change the way you're thinking about something, or the way that you're reacting to something, or the way that you are looking at what's happened in the past. And there's this new opportunity. There's this beginning here for you. This prosperity begins. There's a seed here. There's a seed that, when planted and nurtured, can grow into this beautiful tree that will bear fruit. But you have to grasp the opportunity and put in the effort to make sure that seed germinates and that it grows and that it's nurtured. So you have to weed your garden of all of the negative thoughts and the negative self-beliefs that you're holding, or of the trauma from the past, because those are weeds and those are eating away at the fruit that your soul is trying to provide for you. You have everything you need within you, but if you're blocking yourself from accessing it, well, that's an issue, right? So there's some root chakra work that needs to happen here. If you guys want a Reiki session, please reach out to me. All the information is in the description box below, but I specialize in balancing the chakras, aligning them, and getting to the root issue of why that chakra was imbalanced in the first place. And then I give you daily tools to be able to work on rebalancing it moving forward. So the key goal this month for you guys, we have intuition in reverse, fulfillment of wishes, and destiny. So destiny, I want to start with here, is very much about karma. This is the wheel of fortune, and this is the cyclical nature of the universe again. So everything that goes around comes around. Everything that you are putting out there comes back to you. Everything that is around you is a mirror of what's going on inside of you. As you can see, it's these mirrored image of this lady in a spiral. Everything around you is a mirror of what's going on inside of you. So if something outside of you is triggering you, like if this video is triggering you, then it's not me, it's not the cards, it's you, it's inside you. And it's the same thing for me, because it happens to me. I'll watch a video and I'll go, that's not right. And then I have to tell my ego to sit down and say, hey, why are you reacting that way? What's the core wound? Where is the pain? Let's get to the root of the pain instead of projecting it out onto somebody else. That's the key here. And this is a cycle that you are ultimately in control of, but that is also being, not instigated, what's the word I'm looking for here? That is being promulgated by the universe. That's such a strange word, but that's the one that popped into my head. I don't even really know the answer to that, but yeah, your intuition and the fulfillment of wishes is 9 being the ending of a cycle, 10 being the completion of a cycle, and 2 being about balance. So this cycle is all about balance. And when you come into inner balance, trusting your intuition, that's when you'll have the fulfillment of your wishes. So if you're not seeing what you want in your reality right now, if you're not feeling prosperous, if you're not feeling like you have what you want or what you need, then there's an inner imbalance and you're not trusting your intuition. You're listening to your ego. You're listening to the part of your mind that speaks from a place of fear and lack. And the process here is about discernment. It's discerning between what is your higher mind and what is your lower mind, and then choosing which one you'd like to give energy to, because you can choose to give energy to that lower mind consciously if you so choose, because it's a free will universe and you can do what you want. But please be aware that doing so will only exacerbate that energy within you, and that will be reflected to you. It's the boomerang effect. Whatever you throw out is going to come back. And it often comes back in expanded ways. So it comes back ×3. So be aware of what you're putting out and be aware of what you're taking in. So next up we have the obstacle to overcome. And the obstacle here is balance. So this is temperance. 11 is the 1 and the 1. So this is a gateway. This is an opportunity for you to be able to move forward and find balance by balancing all the elements, balancing the swords, which is mind, the cups, which are emotions, the pentacles, which are the physical realm, and wands, which is the spiritual realm. So balancing all of these aspects of yourself is going to allow you to find the ability within you to change and to heal and to move forward. And that comes from this strength. But right now, the obstacle is finding that balance. The major accomplishment, though, is power. You have the power to do this. And 8, again, is the cyclical nature of the universe and karmic cycles. So you have the power to break this karmic cycle. You do not have to repeat this. Everything that goes around comes around. But if you heal the initial wound, if you come into a place where you can accept it, forgive yourself for participating in that cycle, for all the damage that you've caused to others and to yourself, it stops the wheel of destiny. It stops the wheel of karma in its tracks. Forgiveness takes the inertia out of negative karma. Okay? So you have the power to do this. Odin, what was Odin the god of? Because there's something there for somebody. Maybe look up Odin after you watch this video, or pause it now and go look up what Odin represents, what he was the god of. I know he was Thor's dad. But there's something there. And the lion, of course, represents your inner beast and taming your inner beast. But it's also your strength. So when you tame your inner power, and that's when you can actually utilize it to your benefit. If it's wild and running around, it's just going to cause havoc. So it's about taming that inner beast and utilizing that power to move you forward and out of that cycle, and to ultimately create this change into a new cycle. So again, we have a 1. So there's lots of 1s here. There's an opportunity for a brand new beginning. This is what to avoid. So love begins, what to avoid. I want to get clarifiers on that, because why? Oh, okay. So we have the devil in reverse with love begins. In what to avoid. So this, in this particular instance, this is saying to avoid bringing the issues of the past into this new cycle. Avoid carrying this emotional loss and that negative programming with you, because, like I said, you don't want to continue to repeat that cycle. You don't want to continue to invest that energy unwisely and allow your power to be taken from you, because the devil is, he has chained these beings, he's chained these people, but the chains are big enough that they can slip them over their head and leave whenever they want. It's in your head, it's in your mind. So you have the power to heal this emotional triggering and this emotional wounding, but you have to take your power back from the pain itself, from whatever inflicted the pain. So you have to forgive whatever caused the pain or whoever caused the pain. You have to forgive yourself. Forgiveness in all respects. And you can use the Ho'oponopono. I think that's what it's called. Just look it up, the Hawaiian forgiveness prayer. So I think it goes, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you, thank you, or something along those lines. So you can repeat that over and over and over again as a forgiveness prayer to release yourself from this karma and this karmic cycle that is really oppressive and negative. It's based in fear and loss and lack. It's created this mental slavery, and it's cut you off from your intuition, from your higher self. So of course you're not going to feel like the world is a good place, because you're feeling cut off from all that's good. You're feeling like life is a joke and it's a mockery, and you may be feeling just completely exasperated and done with it, just fed up and then jaded because you're just sick of it. And that doesn't need to be your reality. There is an opportunity here to go into the light, to access this aspect of yourself, and this is what to embrace. And it's coming up in the reverse because it's there, but it's not being embraced right now. And this is letting you know that you have the opportunity to view these things from a higher perspective, from a lighter perspective, to have the enlightenment and the clarity, the illumination that you need to be able to forgive yourself and forgive all others, or to forgive the situation, whatever it was. To heal yourself, you will literally heal the world. Because when you heal an aspect of yourself that has been continuously causing these cycles to repeat in your life, you free yourself from that cycle. You don't have to go through it again. And that kind of liberation is soul liberation. That kind of liberation frees you to rise higher, to attain more information, more perspective, to understand that the experience was beneficial. Even though it was challenging, it was difficult, it was oppressive, It was actually beneficial, though, in the long run, because it allowed you to find your true power and break free. Sometimes we have to be tested to really understand what we're capable of. So you have this ability here, and the 1 and the 9 is, again, it's this ending of an old cycle, beginning of a new cycle. So start fresh. Don't continue that old cycle. Don't bring that forward. Start something completely new. And where to find support is the waiting game and recognition and reward. So this is 2 and 3. It's moving forward, but there's patience here. Find support in giving yourself the time that you need to figure out which way you want to go and where you want to invest your energy. It's not about being recognized or rewarded for doing this work. The recognition and the reward come from yourself, your own sense of pride at having recognized a pattern and being able to be aware of it when it comes up throughout your day-to-day life, and being able to move out of that cycle, out of that pattern, to heal that core wound and that core self-suspicion or self-belief that is detrimental to you ultimately. So be patient with yourself, because it is a waiting game right now, but as you can see, everything's infinite. This is that 8 energy, and the 2 brings balance. And again, we have the circles. So this individual here, he's like walking on this elliptical sort of orbit, like the circle, the circle of life, the circle of karma. So be patient with yourself and know that you are growing. So there's roots going up and down. Again, this relates back to the root chakra, and you will be rewarded for your hard work. It's not what it's about, but it's a byproduct of putting in the self-work and doing the shadow work and doing the healing and looking at the things that you don't want to look at. That seems to be a big theme right now for all the readings that I've done so far this month. It's very much about doing some really intense, deep shadow work and healing the aspects of ourselves and changing the aspects of ourselves that aren't serving us, that are keeping us stuck. Because this eclipse season is very much about ending those karmic cycles and moving forward in a very big, physical, practical way. So this is it's spiritual work, but it's really, really physical. It's really physical. You've got to dig deep into those emotions and really feel them and really change how you react to situations around you in the physical world. That's what's important here. And the advice and encouragement is solitude, which is the Hermit card. Again, this is a 9. So 9s being about the ending of cycles, the ending of anything that's not supposed to keep going. And the 9 also is about spirituality. And the solitude is, sometimes you need to take a time out. Sometimes you need to make yourself go into time out. Put yourself in the corner for a minute so that you can think about the way that you've been acting or the way that you've been thinking. I think it's important that we self-regulate, because nobody else is going to do it for us. We're not going to get told how to change unless we ask for it, and unless we're ready to integrate it and accept that. So nobody can change us but us. And so this inner knowledge, it's in you. You have the ability to tap into this inner knowledge by connecting to your roots, by connecting with source, connecting to your intuition and healing these negative aspects or these lower vibrational aspects of the wounds that are causing the triggers and causing this exasperation and this feeling of, I just can't do it anymore. If you can't do it anymore, that's a good thing. That means you've come to the end of your rope with this cycle, and it's time for change. And that change is positive. That change is a new beginning. It's an opportunity. So please take that opportunity and run with it. Do whatever you can to get out of that cycle. And it's tough to be self-aware in the moments that we're triggered, because we go into that emotion so heavily. But that's what's important. I care for the earth. Okay, so that's again related to that root chakra energy and the cyclical nature. So the snake it's almost like the Ouroboros, which is the snake that eats its own tail. It's the never-ending, infinite nature, the cyclical nature of the universe and reality itself. And this I care for the earth is very much about getting connected with the earth so that you feel safe, secure, and grounded. So maybe you can go out and do something nice for the earth, plant a tree, nurture a plant of some kind, you know, give life back, go clean up garbage at a park, do something that you normally wouldn't do. It'll make you feel better. It'll make you feel more connected to the earth, and it'll make you feel a sense of goodness within yourself. You'll feel proud of yourself for having chosen to do that, and then it builds your self-worth. So if there was low self-worth, that will ultimately be repeated. That cycle will be repeated. The universe will reflect to you that you're not worthy, because that's your core belief and you're creating your reality. So if you shift your thinking, your thought processes, and your belief structures into a place of, I care for myself, I care for the earth, I care for others around me. The universe is going to give you opportunities to show that, to prove that to yourself. And when you do that, you build your self-worth up, and then you begin to believe you are worthy, because you are. But it's your beliefs that shape your reality. Let's see. What cards would be beneficial? Yeah, we're going to get a crystal one. Crystal Oracle for Geminis. Oh, we have two. Amethyst and Adjoit. And it's interesting because they even look similar. Both of them have this single termination at the end there. Let's see. 17 is inner peace. Amethyst is inner peace. So a powerful protector, purifier, and natural tranquilizer. Amethyst calms the mind and balances extremes. Yeah, that's a major theme here, of balancing the extremes of your emotions and your thoughts. So you have an addictive personality. Make a concerted effort to overcome such behavior or obsessions of any kind, and avoid overindulgence. Balance work and play. You are prone to excess in both areas. Understanding hidden causes of compulsive actions brings peace. Hand your will over to your soul and allow your spirituality to flourish. Release self-defeating programs. Do not rely on others. You create anything you set your mind to. Be shrewd in business dealings. Pay attention to your family. An honest verdict and success in a court case are possible. Maintain your integrity and let the universe decide. Letting go of cravings leads to inner freedom and creates well-being. Yeah, so that's very much to do with that devil energy, with the self-defeating programs. Exactly what I was just talking about. Like, don't rely on others. It's up to you to change. You create anything you set your mind to. You create your reality. Yeah. Okay. And then Ajoie. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Adjoit. Ajoie. Okay. Compassionate being. I'm going to say it adjoit. It's probably really wrong, but whatever. Adjoit brings about a profound spiritual revelation, drawing out karmic wounds. Karmic wounds. You are oh, hold on, I skipped it. This crystal reframes cellular memory and past contracts. Yes, that's what we want. You are a being of infinite love and compassion. Find your core of ultimate peace and universal love. Release your toxic emotions, replacing them with forgiveness, compassion, and serenity. What you've been through allows you to appreciate the pain of another's path. Do not absorb their pain. Remain detached. Detach gracefully and move on. Put down your burdens, knowing you are a being of light. Resolve conflicts and forgive those who wounded you. Give someone a second chance. Honor your promises. Find the best solution for everyone. Let your dispassionate compassion encompass all. Charity or volunteer work is indicated. Immersing yourself in the love of the divine automatically leads to health and happiness. That is exactly everything that we discussed in this whole reading. Everything from letting go of the past, karmic wounds, past contracts, releasing toxic emotions, replacing them with forgiveness. Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, resolving conflicts and forgiving those who wounded you. Yeah, that's a big one. And then charity or volunteer work. That's exactly what I was just saying. Like go do something that helps the earth, that cares for the earth. Volunteer your time. Do something. You don't have to go and do it through an organization. You can just go do it. You are volunteering your time and energy when you go out into nature and you provide love to the earth. Even if you don't do anything, if you just sit under a tree and send love to the earth, that is a huge act of service. And that allows you to tap into the love that is inherently within you, that you have been previously cut off from due to these emotional wounds and the karmic cycles. All right, guys, what an amazing reading. I always share these readings with the intention of love. I always want you to receive as much healing, enlightenment, acceptance, activations, confirmation, and clarity as possible. So I hope that you receive them and that you're able to integrate those into your life to break free from these karmic cycles, to heal the core wounds and the self-beliefs that are false, that are ultimately illusions, so that you're able to move forward balanced, whole, connected, in a place of love, peace, and compassion. This is my wish for every single one of you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if you'd like to book a reading, all the information is in the description box below. All right, I'll see you next month, guys. Bye.